So here's a true story. So my wife and daughter are watching TV, but they're talking. My daughter's telling her about some guy in California. She's going on talking about how every time she sees this guy, he talks to her, she gets all flush and she gets butterflies in her stomach. So I walk in, I tell my wife, wow, that's how she gets when she sees him, with butterflies in her stomach. Boy, I know you must need a whole thing of Maalox or Tums every time you see me. My wife looks at me and she says, boy, we've been married for over 20-something years. Every time I see you, I need a big bottle of Tylenol extra strength and a big lube or Preparation H. So welcome to our third episode of Ask a Black Dad. And I'm gonna go to a question that we got, and it's a very good question, but I think that our thinking and how we process this is wrong. So the question is, they sent it through email. Hey Black Dad, you say you've been married for over 25 years. How can I find a ride or die like you have? First of all, I don't have a Bonnie Parker. That's Bonnie and Clyde. I don't believe in this terminology of ride or die. I don't believe this extreme loyalty to the point of death. I did my wedding vows, it said till death do us part. It didn't say you're gonna stay with me and I'm gonna do some things and no matter what I do, you have to be loyal to me until I die. I believe in the concept of you got to live and grow. How about, can we find a ride and enjoy? Or a love and encourage? Because one day, somehow, somewhere, sometime, everybody's gonna die. That's a given fact. But while you're alive and you wanna find that person you're with, don't let the concept be ride or die. A lot of people say don't put things out into the universe. First of all, I don't even understand the ride part. Can't we build something? I mean, can't we start and grow something? But I got three things for the young man who says that, I'm taking this a young man, that says that he wants a ride or die. Number three is get outside your comfort zone. Expand your horizons. You don't even know what you don't know. What that means is, if all you're looking for is somebody in the club, that's all you're gonna find. Same could go, for example, if all you're doing is in a church or a library, that's all you're gonna find. If you have to expand your zone, you have to get out your comfort zone. You have to be willing to see people that do different things. Somebody who may be into jazz, or somebody who may be into auto mechanics, or somebody who may be into computer science. You have to be willing to say, hey, maybe this person can teach me something and I can teach them something. And that brings me to number two. You got to be bringing something to the table. Don't nobody want to be with you for 20-something years if they bringing everything to the table and you have brought nothing. So before you go looking for somebody, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing that's going to help this relationship flourish? What are you, if all you're watching is someone who's negative and is disrespectful, doesn't know how to treat a woman, and you think that's the way you're supposed to treat that person, then you're going to turn around and you're going to have a miserable relationship. So find somebody that you can model yourself after. Say, this is how I want to treat my wife. This is how I want her to treat me or him to treat me as my husband. And that brings me to the number one thing. Before you can say you want somebody to love you to death, you first have to love yourself. A lot of people get into marriages and they don't even like themselves. They're miserable with themselves, and the concept is misery loves company. So all you're doing is looking for somebody to be miserable with. You're not looking for somebody to love. You can't love them if you don't love yourself. So take that time and find what it is that makes you happy, that you can enjoy. Let's get rid of the ride or die, and let's find something else we can do with that. And let's say, hey, I'm not a gangster. I'm not in the streets. And that person who sees me doing these kind of negative things that would come with ride or die, they should be so loving of me, they would tell me, I don't want you to do that because you're better than that. The next question comes from us from email too. Now this next question comes with a disclaimer. The way I answer this, some will call me a boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Others will say, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn!
I don't want to be a hypocrite because I believe that it's sometimes best to live with someone before you marry them. That way you can see if you're really compatible. But I also believe that the end game of being with somebody is marriage. I'm not here to promote marriage. The way I answer this question is the way I would talk to my family, kids. So please take this disclaimer and listen to the question and see how you would answer it. It says, hey Black Dad, do you believe that I should set some money aside just in case I have to leave a relationship? There's two ways to look at this question. There are those who enter a marriage, and then there are those who live together, which I like to call playing house. When you're playing house, sometimes the game's in and it's time to move on. You're filling each other out. You're trying to see, is this the person I want to marry? Or maybe you don't believe in marriage. That's good too. To them people, I say, maybe that could be a case where you know, because most time when you're playing house, you're more roommates. You know, the bills are kind of split half 50-50 sometimes, and I understand that. But when you're married, you enter into a union. And if you enter into a union, you don't enter into a marriage or a union and have an escape clause. A house divided against itself will fall. If you enter into it and your whole thing at the end is that I have to have something to allow me to escape. So what did you come in with? You came in with reservations that this isn't going to work. This isn't the person for me. So what I need to do is be ready to run. All things aren't permanent. So I understand that there are some marriages that just don't work. But if you enter into a union like that, a marriage, you want to say, I gave it everything I had to give. And if it didn't work, you can walk away. You can't complete what you're trying to make because you came in with a closed mind already. Keep your mind open, give it everything you got, and see where it takes you. Because see, sometimes in marriage and relationships like that, you have to take what's called a leap of faith. So with that question, I say this, no. If you enter into a marriage, again, I'm talking on the marriage part. If you enter into a marriage, give it 100%, give it everything you got. And if it doesn't work out for some reason, you can walk away and say, honestly, I gave it everything I had. And that's no regrets. In closing, it's an African proverb that I thought fit this whole episode. It says, a happy man marries the girl he loves, but a happier man loves the girl he marries. So remember that and keep that in your mind when you talk about marriage. That you can love somebody, but isn't it beautiful to be in love with the person that you marry? You don't want them to die, and they shouldn't want you to die. And you're not going to do anything to put them in that kind of harm's way. So with that being said, remember to like, subscribe, email us your questions. Tell me what you thought. Do you think I was too old-fashioned? Follow us on all the social media platforms. And remember, until 2 weeks from now, when I see you again, I love you.